Okay.
The topic this morning is being guided, being receptive, and guiding oneself. So I'm taking up the topic that Nelly started yesterday. Excuse me. When I was training teachers from other traditions, mostly Vipassana, but other Buddhist traditions, to teach reflective meditation, this was a common topic for us to explore, to really question, because many teachers had come from guided meditations and teaching guided meditations and learning to meditate from guided meditations. So it took quite a leap of faith for them to really consider that other meditators could do a practice that didn't start this way. And I really came to see that it was much harder to teach reflective meditation, teach a silent meditation practice with reflection afterwards, when you learned through another process, when you learned from external guidance. And that was a big transition, a big knot that people had to unravel before they could really take up this practice and teach it. It was just harder to trust that beginners could actually go into their minds without their voice, without that external voice, especially people very new to meditation. So they would ask these questions in the group and of me and of themselves. How can I teach someone to meditate in a way that I didn't learn? Am I being authentic if I do that? Is the reason I can do a silent meditation practice without external guidance, is this because I've had other practices before, because I've meditated? What ended up happening was surprising for me is most everybody went back to the tradition they started with, except for a few people. And one teacher guides meditation using our language, of being gentle and kind and curious. And he leaves a lot of space in between his guidance. And when I did one of his practices, I almost forgot he was there until his voice popped up again. And there he was, encouraging me to look at my experience in a curious way. So I muse a bit about how those of us in reflective meditation embraced the practice of really teaching an inner guidance practice. And I think there's probably some interesting stories there of how we took that up, of that transition to get to the place where we really could trust that people will develop their own guidance system. Let's see, where am I? Oh, and really what I took away from that time of working with other teachers is that people will blend our practice and blend this kind of periods of silence with guidance, and that it was really nice to have our practice being taken into and out to other traditions and creative ways of taking what they liked about being able to teach reflective meditation and blending it. But I wonder why those of us who are still teaching it haven't gone back to our other practices. And I muse upon that a while. And, I think, does it have something to do with the way we encountered the practice when we did? And then as I'm writing the talk and I'm really thinking about this, I think this is an unanswerable question. Here I am at an unanswerable question. The Buddha talked about questions that are productive and lead you somewhere, and those that just kind of take you off. But even though it's unanswerable, I think, well, if I speculate a little bit, I could come up with an answer like it's all our karma. Then I can come with some generalized answer saying, oh, we all felt such relief at finding this practice. And then I come up with a crazy theory. We had helicopter moms, and we don't like being interrupted while we play. I just kind of was, taking the unanswerable question a little bit too far. But from doing that, I can infer something here, that finding our own path is a high priority for those of us teaching this practice. And finding your own voice is a high priority. And how you feel when you first hear your voice, if you've heard yourself recorded, it's like, I can't stand that. Is that what I really sound like? And you want to edit yourself out and all the ums and the ahs, and you want to say things better. I really see that we have a patience and determination and a trust that has come from listening to our own voices over time, and know that can develop from not having external guided meditation as your primary practice. Because really, sometimes you need a hand, and sometimes you need help in meditation. And one condition changed for us. We're online. And now you have this time when we turn off the camera and you're muted, you have a half an hour to discover for yourself what you need for meditation practice this morning. Maybe walking, maybe guided, but at some point we're going to want you to sit down and sit without external information coming in, reflect afterwards, and then talk about it. Have a chance to talk about it if you'd like. So that experimentation, we didn't grow up with that. We were in person. Everything was in front of you. You couldn't make other sounds. You couldn't go off and listen to a guided meditation. You couldn't get up and walk, just do a walking meditation in the middle of a sitting meditation. But we'll find out how that feels when we're on retreat together in person. What used to feel normal will be very strange, I think, from having all of this online permission to do whatever we want in meditation. So I'll leave you with a little vignette. I was thinking this morning of the GPS voice. We went up to Crow's End this weekend, my husband and I, and it's a place that Mary Renard has turned her home into a retreat center. And we decided we wanted to take a little different route to get there and a little different route to get home. So we turned on the GPS, and I just love this GPS woman in my husband's car. She has a very light English accent, and she's a she, and her voice is very calm and in control and well modulated, not mechanical. Little bells come on to alert me when I need to turn next, and what I should pay attention to. She's really telling me, and she's kind of got us in her glow until the rerouting, please proceed to the map, please proceed to the route. But even then, we don't feel the alarm. Like, she really helps kind of modulate any panic. And it's more like a frustration. What does she mean? So we have to do some investigating. But my thoughts this morning is our internal world has a different kind of map, and we need different things. It needs a different type of GPS. And we have some choice in the matter to choose what type of GPS we want, but that really does depend on where we're going. I'll end here. We'll sit for 20 minutes this